Some Nigerians are reacting and they are showing their concern to the recent approval of the Living Faith Church to have their own private airports at the church premises in Lagos.
Aware that the federal government, through the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace, Festus Keyamo, confirmed the approval of an airstrip for a religious-based organization in Ota, Ogun State. Recall that in September 2014, a prominent religious leader was linked with a private jet used to convey $9.3 million in cash to South Africa for purchase of arms. The private jet was seized by the South African authorities, which has two people, Nigerian and an Israeli, on board. Concerned that the current experience of security challenge that Nigeria is facing through illegal importation, proliferation of firearms and ammunition, importation of illicit hard drugs, coupled with the inability of our security agencies to pinpoint the source of supply of weapons to insurgents, kidnappers, and separatists that have massacred thousands of Nigerians across the country. Worried that granting airstrip to private individuals and organizations would aid illegal importation of firearms and hard drugs into the country, thus heightening insurgency, kidnapping, banditry, and other vices that are seriously affecting the socio-economic development of the country. The House resolves to, 1, call on the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace to stop issuance of airstrip licenses to private individuals and organizations, and also withdraw approvals already granted to private individuals and organizations with a view to safeguarding national security. 2, urge the committees on aviation and legislative compliance to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
And the National Assembly move a motion to investigate the issue and the reason why this approval was given. Somebody wrote and said, let's not forget that the Islamic world, what is happening around the globe, and for the fact that they are close to terrorism, if you allow one religion to have a private airport where they can fly in and fly out of the country without being checked, then don't forget that you will also have to approve for the other religion, of which, let's not forget, that will bring in a lot of ammunition into the country, which at the end of the day will turn the country into a battleground. When you look at terrorism, already the country is suffering from high level of terrorism, so that is not a welcome development. And my question is this: what did you think about this? Is it the right thing for the government to do to allow the church or one church or someone to have an airport or somewhere to land in his own premises, taking off and all of that? Do you think that it can affect the country security-wise, like this person is saying? I want to think, but then I believe that if they are to operate in such a manner, I stand with this particular person's opinion. Do not start something that you cannot finish. If Mr. A requested for something, we rest assured that Mr. B, C, D, E to Z will also ask. And you cannot in any way deny them if they prove capacity to maintain those infrastructures. Don't forget, if at any time this leads to any threat to the national security of the country, you will be held responsible. So it is a welcome development for the church to think of having such. But how are they going to mount these? How are they going to checkmate these people? Because there was also a situation that some years ago, there was an allegation of a particular pastor that was arrested because they saw him flying with a private jet with billions of money in that particular jet. So if there is a private wing where church leaders can fly in with their private jet and all of that, then what do you expect? What do you make of this? Remember, I always say this to Christian community. Turkey was once a total full-blasted Christian nation, but today the reverse is the case. If Nigeria as a secular state, we should learn to maintain that and do things for the people and the interests of the people. Let us not bring religion into our politics or religion into every conversation that we are going to be having as a nation. For such behavior and act will only jeopardize the the development and progress of Nigeria. What do you think? Let's talk about this at the comment section. Thank you for watching.
Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues. My name is Honorable Oyedepo. I represent the people of Isai, Tesiwaju, Kajala, and the Wajua Federal Constituency. Observation is this. I believe initially the minister was even wrong in giving an approval for an airstrip. This is supposed to be the duty of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. So we need to even look at it from that angle. The approval given by the minister is even defective and is not meant to be. Because the approval for airstrip, airport, is supposed to come from Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, who is domiciled with the power to do so. It's not domiciled at the ministry. It is after the approval of the NCAA that the minister can give such an approval. So even giving that kind of approval is an abuse of power. So I want this House to please see how we can actually look at all this. There are so many things going on in that industry right now that we really need to look into. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. While I accept your contribution, but we also need to be mindful that the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority is under the Ministry of Aviation. So by implication, I want to believe perhaps the minister has done the due diligence by accepting collecting all the necessary approvals before he made the announcement. But however, since the resolution of this motion or the prayer is to urge the Committee on Aviation to investigate on this matter, I think they can also take note of that particular aspect to ensure that in the first place, whether due process has been followed or not. So I think we can take a seconder to the motion, or have we done so? Honorable Namdi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Excellency, Honorable Namdi Zechi is my name, and I represent Ndokwa, Okwani Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Delta State. I rise here this morning to second the motion ably moved by my dear former brother from PDP. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Aviation for further legislative action.